حسين 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 يا 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 حسين حسين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل Muhammad. Welcome all in this program, The Story of Karbala. In this program, The Story of Karbala, we will discover the most painful and tragedy of history that ever happened to the mankind in all ages. You will see through all ages that happened a landmark that all history stopped at that landmark, and that one was a turning point in the history of mankind in all ages. In this story, we discover the love, the pain, the feelings which conflict between evil from one side and the good from the other side. We will see how is the behavior of ideal man and the behavior of the evil in a picture of a man. This is what happened in this story, and we'll find a lot of lessons that we all will benefit from it, and you will see why this story is important for all mankind, not necessarily one religion or one ethnic group or one geographical area. In this story, we will find how the Imam Hussain, the one who changed the history of the mankind and taught all people how the blood can win the victory in a battle over the sword. This is what Mahatma Gandhi told everybody, the lesson he learned from Imam Hussain from the story of Karbala. Why the Karbala? Why should we stop in this place, in this time, which is the year of 61 of Hijrah, Moharram, the 10th day? This is exactly the date and the time, and the place is in Karbala, south of Iraq. Is this just only important in that time, or was it important for everybody, all mankind, in the history of the mankind which has been established on the globe of earth? In this story, we see how Imam Hussain was trying to set the ideal behavior of a human, how to live in peace and happy, and be a good slave for Allah. Be good for everybody, not very selfish, not very bad trying to be peaceful and not to harm anybody else. And what happened to him? He paid a price. The price was so expensive. He paid his life himself, his family life, and all his alliance, the Ansar who came to help him. In this story, we will find a tragedy that has been documented not only in the books of Muslims, but also in other books. In this tragedy, we find out that even historians from England mentioning that the sky rained blood on that day, on that year. This is show how important and how huge this landmark for all mankind, to the extent that the sky rained blood on that day, which was documented in the area of Karbala, documented in area of Palestine, and also it was documented in England. This is how important this landmark that affected the whole globe. Imam Hussain was the center of the whole events in that area, in that time. And what he was trying to do was trying to implement Islam as it is, as how God wanted, how all the prophets from time of Adam through Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and lastly Muhammad, how they worked their way through, how did they put all the effort that the religion of Allah, God, to be established on this earth for all humans to live in peace. That's why it's called Islam, the peace that all humans should live with, so they do not and should not suffer anymore, whether in the past or in the future. When we come to Karbala, this was the center of the events. This was the final result, happened to a long story of fighting between evil and the good. The good, which is represented by Islam, Imam Hussain. The evil, which was represented by Yazid, the ruler that trying to take over all the efforts and to be selfish, to get all the power and everything for himself and leave the whole nation for nothing. This is how the things ended in Karbala. But how this story started, and when did it start, and how did it started? Did it started with Imam Hussain, or did it start before? And how the events went on till this tragic end, where Imam Hussain, the family of the Prophet, killed in Karbala in very bad manner, in very bad way, that even animals won't be slaughtered such a way. And this is the story of Karbala. Karbala represented in the heart of Muslims, especially about this event. Karbala uncovered all the things that anybody else trying to cover for any bad, evil person trying to cover as a ruler or as a human being to be evil to mankind. This event, the result, did not give any excuse for whether Yazid or anybody like him to be and to say he was not ethically responsible for this, or he was not aware about it, or he did not do it basically he did not order anybody to kill or to escape eventually all the responsibility, which is really not true. And this is unfortunately all the evil, all the line that represent evil, whether they are Muslims or non-Muslims, whether they are in the history before Karbala or even after Karbala. This is the line that giving the same excuse, giving the excuses to do Karbala again and again. But this event made an earthquake in the history, in the mankind, in the deep ego of man, that this echo of the battle, the echo of Karbala, vibrating through time and space in all times till our days, and it will extend and continue. As we can see, Mahatma Gandhi, when he was trying to liberate India from the British colonization, they told him, how you can do this? He said that I learned from Hussein how the blood won the victory against the sword. And he was successful to liberate his country from the British colonization. Not only this, other major leaders in the recent time have given the same lesson, the same things that they learned from Imam Hussain. How a man without any weapon can win his battle against somebody who has all the power, all the weapons that he can use to kill anybody else. This is the power of the human, the power of the truth, the power of the poor people who are innocent and responsible and ethical and ideal like Allah wants them to be. And this is what is the meaning وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, that Allah wants the human to be a real slave for Him. This slaveness for God will liberate him to be slave for anybody else, like Yazid, or any ruler, or any bad human that he has, whether the power, money, or the position to be influential for any reason or any time. That you feel that Allah is the only master for you and you should not obey except Him. And this is the real power coming from Allah. And this is how Imam Hussain behaved and went through this battle. In the beginning, all of the people, or almost all of the people, thought that Imam Hussain lost the battle against Yazid. But what happened? Imam Hussain really did and was, and he knew, and he continued to be the winner in this battle. Yes, he paid the price, his life, but eventually he was the winner. Now, where is Yazid? Where is the evil people throughout history? Or from the time of the really old history, or from the time of Qabil, the son of Adam, who killed his brother, till now, where is the Farah of Moses that he was killing the Israeli? Where are the people who killed the people and other innocent people? Now we see these prophets, these Imam, especially Imam Hussain, stand as a giant figure in our history, and we should learn and continue to be attached and reinforce our attachment to these figures, not because they need us, because we need them, and we need to keep the lesson and the thing we learn from them fresh every year, every day, and we should apply it. And this is why we should continue to be attached to these great people, the prophets, the imams, and especially Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, and his family. And this is why we are having this program, and this is why we will have the story of Karbala. We will be going through a journey, discovering the hopes, the pain, the love, the conflict between evil and the bad people from one side, and the good and innocent, responsible, ideal people like Imam Hussain, a perfect human like the Prophet Muhammad and his descendant, the 12th Imam, and also the line which was continued from time of Adam. This is how we should behave for ourselves, and this is why we should get this message to our generations, to keep up attached and to see a real life example of Islam, how he did behave in the real world. So nobody comes and says, you cannot be ideal or perfect. Here is the example, here is the people, here is the real one that had this battle and won it in a time it was critical for himself, for everybody else. Imam Hussain was be able to get the things he wants from this life, the wealth, the power, everything he wants, and he could do it. Why? Because he was the real Khalifa, not Yazid. And this is what we will see in the next coming episodes of this program, where we find the real Khalifa was Imam Hussain, not Yazid. But unfortunately, most of the people think Yazid was the real Khalifa. He was the ruler by force. But the real Khalifa, the real successor of the Muslims was Imam Hussain. Yet, he denied all of these things to give it up for Allah in order to correct the behavior and the way how people behave and how they go through life in order to get through Islam to the next generations and to keep it up alive. At the time of Prophet Muhammad, the Islam came against very clear message against people who were not believing in God. So it was a little bit more distinct position. People could recognize a big difference between Islam and non-Islam. The people who do not believe in God, now there is big separation. Now, after Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, united all the nation, especially in the Arab Peninsula, and sent the messages to the neighboring nations. After all of this, now it comes to the new distinction between evil and the good innocent people, even though they look like similar from the first look. In the next episodes, we will continue the story of Karbala. See you then.
Hussain, 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 ya Hussain, Hussain, ya Hussain, Hussain, ya Hussain, Hussain, ya Hussain. حسين حسين يا حسين حسين يا حسين حسين